Hello YouTubers, this is my very first video review that I'm going to be doing. Crazy times, but here it goes. First, let's talk about the updated resolution and frames per second. It went from a 720 and 30 frames per second to a more current gen acceptable 1080p 60 frames per second that everyone seems to love these days. But the game seems to hold its well almost all the way through, and I think is the true version of the game, the way it should be controlled and the way it should be seen. You also have to realize what that does for the controls of the game. I think Naughty Dog has always struggled with the shooter controls of their video games, from the Uncharted, which I love, by the way, and even with this one. And I think the added frame rates help that considerably, and I think from that alone make it the definitive version of the game, because there are so many times where you're going to need to have precise control when those clickers are coming at you full speed, and you need to be able to fight them off and fend them off without having to have frame rates or bad camera controls get in your way. Now let's talk about the story. And Last of Us story is probably one of the best told in all video games. It's pretty much what put it in most people's Game of the Year last year. As with the story, the path that you take to the end of the game has not changed, and it's still quite linear, but when you're telling a story as good as The Last of Us, you need the developers to have more control of how the game is paced and where you go. And it just makes for a tighter story overall. Now, with all the positives out of the way, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the cons of the video game. And some of these might be irrelevant, and some might not be, and it's different for everyone. First off, the game hasn't really changed much from last year's game. It is primarily the same game that we all played and loved, and that hasn't changed. Therefore, it could be a cash grab to most people, at least the ones who've played it. And if you've played it before, I'm sure you understand that it is a great game, and it's something that, with some of the extra features, might be worth your money. After all that is said and done, having such a great story wrapped around fun gameplay, updated visuals, frame rate, just makes it an easy purchase for me. And I think that if you've never played it before, it's definitely a must-have. But if you've already played it, you played the DLC from last year, it might not be that big of a deal to step up, but for me, I had to own the best version of this game. Therefore, I'm going to give it a 9.0. Well, thank you for everyone watching. Please like and subscribe. Voice your own opinions. What do you think? Do you think it was a cash grab? Do you think that this game deserves to be played again, even if you played it last year? Just let me know. I enjoyed it. Might not be for some, but hey, it's an awesome game at the end of the day, and I think that everyone should at least experience it once. And if you were to experience it, experience this version, because it is the best. On that note, I'm out.